One thing about myself, I'm real critical of myself. I believe I can't improve unless I want to improve. And ultimately, I want to become the greatest basketball player or the best player LeBron James can be. Now, if that means I become better than Michael Jordan or better than Kobe Bryant or Oscar Robertson, then so be it. But if not, I want to maximize my potential. So the times of my rookie year where I was struggling, I found a way to get through it myself with the help of friends and not having those yes men around me because I wasn't playing well. Our game is more mental than it is your abilities.
How do you apply that to the business world? Because that's one thing that's really big to you right now.
I just use my instincts. I use my instincts. One thing that I did a few years ago, I decided to part ways with my agent because I believed that I couldn't grow as a man and as a businessman having an agent, say, well, this is what you need to do and this is how you need to do it. And I started my own company with three of my good friends, and it's called LRMR. We started our own marketing company. I kind of judge, by my own standards.
Did your friends that you hired have experience? I mean,
no.
Right. So
no.
Seemingly not a wise business move, but there would be a reason that you would do that.
Absolutely, because as I continue to grow, I want the guys around me to grow also. So when LeBron James is done playing basketball, now what do I have for my guys to fall back on? I don't want them to be like, okay, now what do we do? Mm-hmm. My guys are being set up in a position now where when I'm done playing basketball, they can continue to go on and be respected walking into a business room, be respected on having their own business ventures without me being there, and I can just sit back and collect the check.
You can't be perfect. Don't try to be perfect. It's impossible. No one is perfect. If you make a mistake, you have to live with it, and then you have to be able to grow from it. You can't continue to make mistake after mistake after mistake and then think that you're going to be able to come back from that.
For me, I understand that a lot gets thrown upon my plate and a lot gets thrown upon what I do. So for me, my personal goals is to win championships. And at the end of my career, what I was able to accomplish will make me happy and make me satisfied because I don't play for what people expect for me to do anymore. I want to be the greatest of all time, and that's just my mindset. Mm-hmm. Wherever they lay me at the end of my career, and if it's 1 or 9 or 12 or whatever the case may be, Smitty, I had a great time on playing this game that I love to play.
Parents, let's please understand and recognize that these kids are our future. And without these kids, obviously, we have no future. So let's continue to inspire. I will do my part. I promise you that, parents. I will be that second parent in your household if you're a single parent mother or father. I will be that third parent in your household if you happen to have a mother and a father at the same time. But you also have to do your part as well. These kids have dreams. I remember, me and my friends had dreams. I seen Brandon Weems here, Frankie Walker, Sheon Cotton, Drew Joyce, Willie McGee, Romeo Travis, and the list goes on and on and on. When we grew up, we had dreams, and the reason our dreams was able to become reality is because we had mentors and family and fathers and moms and people around us that allowed our dreams to become possible.
Listen, for me, I can't worry about what everybody say about me. I'm LeBron James from Akron, Ohio, from the inner city. I'm not even supposed to be here. That's enough. Every night I walk into the locker room, I see a number 6 with James on the back. I'm blessed. So what everybody say about me off the court don't matter. I ain't got no worries.
Do you gauge your game against Kobe? Is that your Larry Bird?
It is, honestly. I look at Kobe Bryant as that guy that is the best, one of the best in our league. Every time when I'm not playing, if the Lakers on TV, I'm watching them. I'm watching him. I'm trying to learn from him and see how he may be attacking this certain team that he's playing. Because a lot of teams kind of play me the same way that they may play Kobe with double and triple teams and, making you have to facilitate to your teammates. Yes. So I definitely look at Kobe as that guy that, he's that guy. He's that one.
It doesn't Everyone's not a leader, and we shouldn't expect everyone to be a leader. I think it becomes something that you want to do or you're born with it. And some people lead by example, some people lead by voice, some people lead by both. And for me, I felt in order for myself to be as good as I wanted to be, and at the same time, in order for our team to be as good as I wanted it to be, I had to be both.
As well as we played last game, it ain't gonna be enough to win tonight. You gotta give more, dog. You gotta protect more, you gotta help more, you gotta sacrifice more in order to get this win.
You have a lot of different styles. Let's throw out some of them. You like wise teacher sometimes. Tell me about that one.
I am, man. I got so, like you said, Smith, I got so many different forms of leadership, and it just comes from my personality. You know, at times I can be silly. Strike three.
Man, these uniforms got me looking like Iron Man.
And at times I can be serious.
If you know personnel, you know teammates, you throw it up to the rim. That's like you throwing that same pass to Shaq. Would you do that to Shaq? You want to throw that pass to Shaq.
At times I could be like a teacher and be like, you know, focusing in on all my students.
Right.
So I come right here, so if I need to step once, at least I'm only stepping right here.
At times I could be the student, you know, and to be able to have different forms of leadership has helped me because you have different personalities in the locker room. Everybody is not the same. The way I talk to D Wade may not be the way I can talk to Chris, or the way I talk to Chris may not be the way I talk to UD or to Bird or to Rio.
Big time, man. Big time, boy. What a play.
Everyone's personality is different, so my leadership skills has different phases because I understand what I'm dealing with.
I love you. I love you. They go crazy. Ah! Whoever misses is out. Whoever misses is out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sometimes, you know, the smile and leadership. Sometimes the playful LeBron. Sometimes you use that as a form of leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. I got that from being around my childhood friends. We used to have so much fun, man. But we understood when that ball was tipped, we're gonna have the most fun here. And I just brought that with me to the NBA. When you're doing something that way and it's working and you're winning and you're not disrespecting the game,
Right.
This is what you feel like is how it's supposed to be done. It's given me a sense of brotherhood in this league that is hard to come by.
Basketball isn't easy. All my life, I've been striving to make myself better. It's a full-time commitment. To be the best, you have to work the hardest. You have to chase what seems impossible over and over and over again. Because giving up is not an option. And when you feel like you've reached your limit, it's only the beginning. That's when it's time to dig deep, to find the courage to push some more. Because if you got the drive, the discipline, and the resolve to do what it takes to make yourself great, then the rewards are endless.
Honestly, you guys sitting in this chair and kept looking over at them, it's because I'd rather be sitting over there with them. I know this is an individual award, but I would much rather be sitting over there in shorts, in a t-shirt, wondering what the hell they joking about. Because I want to be a part of that joke, and I hate being out of all the jokes. I want to know what was happening, okay, guys? I would much rather be with my guys over there because that's what it's all about. Yeah, much rather be with those guys. Without those guys, this trophy's not possible. The Larry O'Brien trophy last year is not possible. Nothing that I receive individually is impossible without those 14 guys because of what they sacrifice each and every day. You know, the sweat and the blood and the time and everything. I always know that with team success becomes individual prizes, individual accolades, but this really doesn't mean much to me. I'm humbled and I'm happy about it, but I wish it was 15 of these up here because I'm with a great group of guys that allow me to be the MVP each and every night.
Well, my expectations is always going to be high. Just because how I feel as an individual, I feel like I continue to get better every year. I continue to bust my butt in off season to get ready. for a season to go into June. So I look forward to us competing for an NBA championship this year. And every night I go on the court, I approach it that way, on us trying to get better for the long-term goal. Short-term goal, we want to just continue to get better every night.
So how do you stay motivated? And you do, both off the court and on the court.
Well, I'm in a position where I can be the best I can be each and every night. I have a organization, I have a team, I have great coaches around me that can put ourselves in a position to be the best each and every year. And then personally, I hold myself up to a standard higher than anyone. So that keeps me going as well.
Certainly athletes are trained to say, I just want to play and I want to win, and this is the most important thing to me. And then when you make a decision, and we saw it in the movie, that this isn't the most important, this is what I do, but it isn't the most important thing to you. Is that I mean, I'm sure you play with guys in your dressing room who don't share the same value as you.
Well, that's why you have guys in our league that's superstars, and you have guys that's stars, and then you have all-stars, and then you have guys that's okay players. I mean, I accept the challenge every night. Every night I go on the basketball court, in everyday life, I accept the challenge because I realize I'm not just representing LeBron James. I'm representing, my two sons. I'm representing my family. I'm representing everybody in my household.
It's the World Series, it's the finals, and I've been a part of it for 8 straight years.
Do you remember that moment with Tim Duncan after your first finals in 2007 in the hallway?
We're going to drive these guys. This is going to be your league in a little while. But I appreciate you giving us this year.
I will never forget that moment. At that point in time, obviously, I didn't want to hear that. They had just swept us on our home floor, but, the better team won, obviously. And I was young, but just to be able to go through experiences like I've always talked about, the best teacher in life is experience. So I've been able to experience so much to get me to this point.
Plus, I mean, that vest you were wearing, we might have to.
Yeah. Back fashion was definitely not a huge thing in my repertoire back then.
You did have to play 2 Game 7s to get here, including one on the road. So the odds weren't with you that you would necessarily be here. Did you let yourself think at any point, I'm not going to make it?
Well, the odds have not been with us all season. Even if you start back to the summertime when I felt like it was just bad for our franchise to be able to trade away our superstar, point guard. Obviously, I wasn't part of the communications and know what exactly went on between the two sides, but I just felt like it was bad timing for our team to just get rid of our point guard, and Kyrie Irving. So, I felt like the odds was against us, from the summer. We just had so many things going with our team. We shuffled in different lineups. We shuffled in different players. We made a trade at the deadline, and I can't sit here right now and say that that the finals was a part of my thinking. It was not. And even when you saw me at one point early in the season, I think it was in December or January, and you looked at me like, okay, come on now, I know you, what you doing. And it's crazy because right before you seen me, I had already kind of hit that switch. I was like, okay, I'm not quite sure what we're going to do with this ball club. We're not playing good basketball, but you can't sell yourself short. But to sit here, I can't even lie to you, sit here and say will we be a part of the finals? I would be definitely lying to you if I said, yes, we would be in the finals in January, February.
Yeah, you didn't think that was the case at all?
It was at points where it was like, okay, will the Cavs even make the playoffs? And I was like, okay, I'm not selling it for that conversation. Now, that's ridiculous. Now, I got to get into the postseason, and I've always said, if I get into the postseason, no matter if I'm a 1 seed or 8 seed, or in this case, a 4 seed, I believe that we can do something. And look at it, we did something. We did something.
Now that you are here, you guys are not favored to win this title. In fact, the odds betting against you from Vegas are the worst they have been in 16 years, which means they are giving you even longer odds than your 2017. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I think how resilient we've been in this postseason. We can lay our hat on that, and we're going to go through some tough times throughout this finals appearance. I know. I just know from being a part of the finals for 8 straight years. I know we're playing this team now for the 4th straight years, how much havoc and how much anxiety they cause, and then just being in the moment, at times.
Whatever happens here in this finals, are you comfortable with what it says about you or your legacy or any of that?
Well, can I be comfortable? I'm never comfortable. I've gotten better with understanding that conversations are going to be conversations no matter what. And it's so weird in that people kind of categorize like individuality and then team, and then take away one individual and say, okay, well, if you're that good, you should be able to beat that team, you know. And I think a lot of that conversation that bothers me a little bit, but it is what it is.
You mentioned earlier in this interview about not wanting Kyrie Irving to be traded.
Yeah.
You actually made a phone call and said, I don't want this trade to happen.
Yeah.
Ownership decided to make the trade anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They decided that part ways with GM David Griffin, which is another thing you said you didn't want to have happen. What is the relationship with you and Dan Gilbert right now?
Well, I mean, our relationship has always been a working relationship. For me personally, I've always tried to do, since I come back to this franchise, to try to put this franchise at a level that is always seen in a positive light. When you see the Cavs logo, I want you to think as a very prestiged and, great organization. So, it's not about, me and Dan. We have a great working relationship. I think it's worked out for us both in these 4 years so far since I've been back.
How much is ownership going to play a part in your free agency decision?
We're going to see. We'll see.